Young Leading Leadership. And today we're going to be having Mr. Kunle, and he will be speaking on how young people can engage in decision making. Okay, so I'm going to send him the link now, and then we will begin the section. Okay. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna wait for him in a few minutes, and then we will begin the show. So thanks so much everyone who's been joining. And one of the reasons why we're deciding to have this topic is because of it's very easy to complain when things are not going right, and somehow people say over talking, and it's been talking all of this while. But I feel that the talking actually investment to the real change that is about to occur. And I feel that this is something that every young person should understand and should know how to engage in decision making in politics, especially in West Africa. Because of I think that if the government is not properly governed like individual in the inside, that means it would affect every other sector. Somehow, every establishment, every thing that is happening in the nation today is built upon the good policies that those in authority make, which means that we need to participate in this in order to make sure that good policies are made for the betterment of the young people. And why we're having Mr. Kunle is because of he's been in this for a long time, and then he will teach us how we can engage in national decision making in West Africa politics. One of the reasons why it's West Africa politics is because of I think we are lacking behind in a lot of things, especially in the development of our ourselves and then as a people as a whole. So it's very important that we're going to actually have this topic discussed by a professional and someone who's been in the field for a long time. And I'm very grateful that he accepted my invitation. And yeah, so we're just going to wait for him, and then we will begin the show. Okay. Okay, thank you so much for joining us, Mick Chessy. We're waiting for our speaker to join us, and then we're going to begin right away. Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Oasis. Sorry, Oasis Magazine. Thank you so much. So we're waiting for our speaker, and then we're going to begin right away. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you. Well, so sorry about the delay. We're just waiting for our speaker, and then we're going to actually start right away. Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. Well, waiting for him, and then he will be joining us soon. Okay. Okay. He'll be joining us soon. We're so sorry for the delay. So sorry for the delay. Okay. So. Yeah, thank you so much. I'm really grateful, really grateful. Thank you so much. Okay, well, so sorry, we're waiting for our speaker, and then we're just going to continue. Okay. So I think he'll be joining us soon. I just responded. So, okay. So he just joined us now. I'm going to add him up right now, and then we're going to be okay.
Hello, sir. Good day, sir. Good day. How's everything? I'm sorry I joined late,
No problem, sir. No problem, sir. No problem, sir. I was
so
even
I'm having.
surprised. I was so surprised that you would even be able to make it, coupled with the fact that you had um, a conference yesterday. I was really, really surprised, and I want to say big thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. So
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
should I slant it the other way around, or is this
No, no, I just did it so that you could see me better. But if I turn it because I'm trying to charge my phone, it's kind of a little low,
okay? Okay,
so
okay,
I've
okay, okay,
turned it a
okay,
bit.
okay,
So
okay,
if you're fine with turning yours, then fine. But I think I can work around this because I'm charging my phone as.
okay, okay. Let me. I think I should just do it this way. I think that'll be that'll be better actually. Yep. Okay. So wait, let me push it and then. Okay. Okay. Let me see. Okay, but it's not. Okay.
Okay, this is great.
Okay.
This is.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. I'm really, really grateful. And I don't know, I feel I'm so grateful, coupled with the fact that it's someone like you taking this topic. So I think justice will be done to it today well. So the floor is yours, sir. I've introduced you already, so the floor is yours. We're starting now.
No, no, no. Yeah, I think you should just build a conversation. Have something that's.
I didn't hear
So
that.
you could just start. I said I'd rather something that is conversationary.
Okay,
I'm
okay, okay.
not. I don't just talk
Okay, okay,
without
okay,
that.
okay.
So
Okay. So one of the reasons why we gave this topic was because of as at the time I started um this, I think it was about 2015, and a lot of things were happening. I saw young people really, some people, young people doing some other things, and I just felt, okay, what exactly can I do? And as at that time, I was always complaining that things were not done well, things were wrong, and all that. And so I just sensed that, okay, what can I actually do? And I feel that this is actually among majority of every youth, including me, where we complain instead of having to actually find what to do. So the question, I feel that this is a very important topic because of somehow we have a lot of young people that are not doing so much. That's why I said, how can young people engage in national decision making in West Africa? Because this is sort of like, um, should I say, like a West Africa problem in Africa where young people don't really know how to actually participate because some everyone isn't meant to go into politics, but some into political politics, but somehow we are meant to actually know that this thing is very important. So the question is, how do we actually engage in decision making and politics here in West Africa as young people?
okay. So first and foremost, I'd like to thank you for having me here. I think this problem as regards young people engaging in politics is actually massive when you look stems from other countries. Now, the basis is first, I accept that governance has not been far, and mentorship also is something that's kind of rare without give backs. So this has made the political circle a kind of mystified terrain. But that is also to notice that though it seems mystified, the iron curtain that actually blocks it is very, very thin. So it's not as if it seems that politics is one very complicated situation. It's just you just have something that most people don't understand. So for me, I think the fact that the agencies involved to present to young people what politics is only talk about voting, and they just say vote, 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 vote. And the truth is, if you feel vote, the first question the young people will say vote for who. Let's be honest, what we do mostly in West Africa has always been selection, not an election. because we are not involved in primaries, which brings me up to the first thing that I would like to mention will improve young people's participation. First, I'd like to say this: no political party is bad, and that's the honest truth. What you have is people inside a party. So you see, no matter how it is, political parties are only vehicles to the airport. The airport is elected position, and when it takes off, that is the simplest way to explain it. So if you're not part of the participatory elements in choosing the candidates that emerge from a political party, it means that you're going to only be voting by a selection made for you that you know nothing totally about. And I would explain, like the American primaries, we normally know who is going: Ben Carson, Hillary Clinton, the Sanders, the whole works. But in West Africa, I can allude to the fact that we don't know what goes on with it. And funny, it's very, very easy to join a political party. Most people think it's quite one serenaded thing. No, I can tell you that the average political party secretariat across West Africa is totally empty. You have secretaries that are not doing anything. I can even tell you incumbent parties in countries that win with over a 20 million, in Nigeria, let me just use Nigeria as an example, that win with a 13 million margin, or those that win with an 11 million margin, don't even have members of the political party that are up to 600,000. And that is a serious problem. So 600,000 people indirectly have made a decision for 200 million. That is what we have in this. So 600,000 people decide who the presidential candidate is. And then let's break down into, let's say 36. If we roughly divide that by 36, we'll have like a number less than say 5 or 4,000, deciding who the candidate of the political party becoming governor for a party. And if the party goes on to win the election, it means that even though you voted, actually 4,000 people in that state actually decided who you voted for. And that is something we keenly miss. So it's very, very important. You're not joining a political party to run for office. You can be a delegate. You could be a council boss. You could be anything. I gave this example somewhere when I said we're so drunk with the Dorime situation of things. But anytime you Dorime, no, I have to bring this home. So I'm not going to use complicated language. So every time you Dorime, just know that that's about the amount that can win a councillorship. And I'll give an example with Lagos State Council elections. You didn't have any councillor winning with over 3,000 votes. So your Dorime can, of course, get you the average of meat pie, minerals, get people behind the candidate, and can deliver a councillor for you. And at that point, you're already beginning to negotiate with. And because they do not know this, I think what is clearly missing is political education. And that's what has evaded the West African youth, which distances them from politics. And the more they say they're not concerned, the more, the truth is, those with power want you not to be concerned because they want status quo as usual. So you can't even hold a government that you think you know accountable. You want to know why? Because you don't even know under what premise of the constitution this is actually functioning. You make emotional decisions. I don't like this guy because he kind of banned Twitter. Okay, he kind of banned Twitter. Does he have the premise to ban Twitter? Those are the real questions. Does the constitution allow him to do this? Most people do not know that the president, and now coming to Nigeria to discuss this, but the president cannot take such an action without the backing of the National Assembly. So it's the National Assembly that will now take effect that Twitter has been injurious to Nigerians. But in Nigeria, that didn't happen. That's why we noticed the presidency always came out and said, we didn't ban Twitter. But the truth is, if they allude to banning Twitter, it will mean the president has outstepped his constitutional jurisdiction. So hence the double thing. They actually stopped Twitter, but they never acknowledged they had that. So you need to understand the way politics, governance, and power works. And as long as West African youth do not understand that core concept, then I think they're wasting their time as regards trying to pursue power, trying to partially engage in politics.
Wow. Thank you so much. Wow. So you said something about we rather engage in selection instead of election. Wow. Thank you so much. So one of the other questions which I have seen that is really disturbing a lot of young people, which I see every day, is the perception that the present leaders, or should I say present rulers, are creating for the younger generation who do not have strength of character to actually reject what is not really true about political leadership. So let's say we have people who are promoting democracy, but somehow they are not really promoting democracy. So we have people at the top that they admire so much. How do we change? How do young people actually discard themselves from that influence that, okay, this is like my mentor, he selects people in power, and he's somebody who is very good, he gives and all that, so I think I won't be like him. Now, such scenario, is it actually right? And how, if it's wrong or if it's right, how can young people actually discard themselves from such influence that, okay, people who promote democracy are actually even putting people in power, but really they're not really giving room for democracy, they're just doing their personal desires.
Let me give you an example. If let's say we both grew up in a village, and I like using analogies. We both grew up in a village, and let's say within that village, only a guy, and the guy has the bicycle. Both of us would think that's the fastest means of. So the day we actually, let's say, get admission to, let's say, King's College or Queen's College, come to the city, Lagos, or we come to Abuja, and then you'd be like, wow, cars. Then you fast cars, there's Benz, there's Toyota. You are limited to your knowledge or understanding in a particular. So you can't see past your leaders, or you can't see past the choice of leaders you're making because you do not know enough to make an informed choice. And that's the problem. And this is not only prevalent in West Africa or in Nigeria. Let me give an example. I'll take you to Texas in the US. And anytime a presidential candidate wants to run in the US, you know what normally happens. You find the presidential candidate wearing boots, going down pigs, showing, man, I'm street. Let me be honest with you, the grassroots is the same everywhere. Be it Texas, be it Kunle, be it Zaria, be it somewhere. The grassroots will always remain the grassroots. They don't act any different. So as long as you're not informed enough to make very, very deliberate choices, your choices will always be streamlined to the exact knowledge you have. So if your idea of a leader is, he gets into power, he'll give my brother appointment, that's the only thing you can think about. And let's be honest, the entire West Africa kind of looks at political leadership as a buffet table. They're okay with you taking money because they know one day my brother is going to get into the office and we'll take money for ourselves. So they're okay with you. So they don't hold anybody accountable. And you can notice this on social media, and I'll give you a small experiment. Everybody watching this can try this out at the time. Watch anybody on social media, anybody popular or whatever, watch them. They will have so much strong comments, NSAS, man, I'm behind, I dislike the government, this, that. Then the day you walk across somebody let's just pick somebody like, okay, let me pick someone that's not comment. Someone like Senator Dino Melaye, and let's say you're invited to his birthday. The same people and you take a picture and you post it on social media, your friends will be like, oh, you're moving up. They were the same guys that were accusing, I'm not saying Dino Melaye is corrupt, but I'm saying they're the same guys, I'm just using him as an analogy. You're saying they're the same guys that were saying, this senator is corrupt, this senator is this. And then all of a sudden, take a picture with him, you'll say, man, Miracle, you're moving up, things are, please introduce us. Really, how can you then hold the entire system accountable? It will not work. So the truth is, Africa just looks at it, and West Africa especially, looks at governance as a buffet table. What can I take? This guy can take. As long as he gets there, I'll tell you how bad it is. I have friends that served in governance. I myself have served in governance, and I know what it means. You go there and then you don't come out with a house to own. Your girlfriend will leave you. That's if you enter young. And if you're a little older and you don't buy a house, man, madam is going to make house hot for you. I'm not talking of your cousins in the village and co that are coming with their own bombardment, because every cousin is going to fall sick. Everybody's going to have a daughter in hospital. Everybody's going to have a mother with a very serious ailment. You're going to have to deal with all those things. And this is government money. What exactly is your salary? I'm going to surprise everybody watching this and tell you that the president's salary is not up to $1 million.
Wow.
So what are you expecting? So we promote corruption. And because I've run for office, I actually know this. The
Hmm.
moment you say you're running for office, okay, I declared I was running for office sometime in 2017. And the moment although I just declared and I was having TV, but the moment my posters came out close to my estate, my landlord hijacked my rent by 2 times. Said you have money. It's not funny. This looks funny, but everybody sees you as a meal ticket. I had this blogger I was close to, and I was telling, and the blogger was looking at me, and the blogger was like, Kunle, I'd like you to,
Hmm.
Kunle, I gave the blogger an opportunity when I was with the Ministry of Women Affairs. And then when I was running for office, I was like, okay, it's time for you to feedback now. Other bloggers want money at least. And they're like, no, 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 no. If I'm going to blog about you, it's politics, 6 million naira. Well, like, what?
Wow.
And that's how it goes. If you're a politician and you want to put something on Linda KJ, I don't need to tell you how much that's going to cost. Or if you go to Channels TV or Arise TV, I won't tell you how much it will cost. It costs a whole lot of money. As of 2019, it's costing 1.5 to about 3.5 million. And I'll tell you something. They are binded by the Electoral Act, which everybody seems to forget. They're binded by the Electoral Act to give, if they give me now, let me give an example. I was a candidate running for Senate in FCT Abuja. So if you give me chance, it means you must give the other 24 candidates. So you must give the other 23 equal opportunity and equal time. They are binded by the Electoral Act to that. But because we do not know that, none of us is going to hold them accountable. We only see the two big lions who are ready to pay whatever amount. And then the two lions, of course, we always know is the wrestling ring, and nobody gets anything credible from whatever you hear from a political interview. And in the end, the result is the chaos we have right now.
Wow. 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 Thank you so much for the Kunle. Well, that's very exposing. Like, I really never knew this at all. And the other question I would want you to address, and one of the reasons why we're having this section is because of presently I'm in University of Lagos. I'm in Faculty of Arts, and I contested for the post of an AGS, which I won. And somehow I see the way the politics is being run in the school system. And I was wondering, wow, this is really, really different ball game, apart from even the real world itself. So the question I want to ask is pertaining to values. What do you think should be political values? What do you think should values really be important in playing politics? If we have to play real politics, should values really be important, or they should actually be left behind? And then, if they would be important, how should we uphold them in playing politics, especially in West Africa?
Okay, so while I was running for, I always stated once that I had two godfathers. I remember I was asking her, Akuli, you're young, and I didn't think I was young because, and I remember mentioning that, but they kept saying I was young. Until now, people still call me a young politician. Come on, 40, going to be 43 in December, so I don't understand what you're saying. So they still call me a young politician. And one guy called in and he said, "You can't be running for Senate in Abuja. There's only one Senate if you don't have a godfather." I said, "Yes, I have godfathers, and I'm sure I have two." He said, "Can you mention them already?" I said, "Of course, I can mention them. I'm not hiding anything." And my godfathers are the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the next. Those are the people that I hold accountable. I mentor a lot of politicians, and I tell them, if those are not your gods, I don't have anything. I won't touch you with. So yeah, and I'll tell you the result of that. I'm not rich, but I'll tell you something. I have influence. So it depends on which currency you're actually wanting to trade in. And I've chosen to trade in, having character in a particular value in a particular direction. It depends on what currency. So for those that want to trade in money, please, the usual suspects are there for you to follow. But if you want to hold something, it's the way you carry. I don't walk around with 6 PAs. And trust me, you're in Unilag, you might probably see me one day. I'll come to your school, nothing, nobody. And you'll be like, Mr. Kunle. And I'll be like, hey, what's up? You know what? Let's catch a drink. And I'm just the average guy. And you'll be like, but you're on, but and I was like, so? And while running for office, I'll tell you something. When you're a candidate for Senate, you're entitled to two mobile policemen. I never wrote out for them and I never asked because I didn't think I need them. Because I felt that if I needed them, then I wasn't in a position to be a representative of the same people I was protecting myself from. But look at what we're talking about. Nigeria has 450,000 policemen, and of that, half are guarding VIPs. So you have like 250,000 policemen policing 200 million. And you know, these statistics are things we play around with in this country and think it's not essential and or doesn't make sense. And in the end, you have quite a quagmire of way things should function. So if you're looking at values or you're looking for values, the truth is that your values will always be what exactly is already imbibed in you. So I'll
Hmm.
give you an example. As a woman or a man, most people, man, the guy must be driving an E-class. The guy is driving an E-class is touching the G-class. He's touching public funds. If that's your role model, then that's the kind of mentor you'll be looking at. You won't look at people like Kunle that will come there with Okada or Pep. No, not like I'm doing that. And neither will I, because of an election, start eating roasted meat. Come on, I eat roasted meat normally. I love it on a normal day, but I won't eat it for pictures. For what reason? Why do I have to pretend to
Hmm.
you? Anybody that needs to do that, then there's a problem with his value choice setting. And because Nigerians are not politically educated enough to understand, then they don't get what they're doing. Like what I'm doing with the electoral college, we're educating people, and that's because we know no matter how educated Nigerians are, we are all politically illiterate.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. Thank you so much, Mr. Kunle. Thank you so much. I think another question we're trying to look at here is I was thinking about it and I was really thinking about it. I was thinking about politics in the US, politics here in West Africa. And somehow I thought it was different. And me, I thought we were playing dirty politics here. And I felt they were playing really poor politics. And maybe somehow the form of debt is different from the way we do the debt politics here. And one of the reasons why was because of we had an election in school and it wasn't credible. And I said this had to be taken again. And one of the guys just stood up and said, no, no, that's how politics is. And he said, that's how politics is. And he kept talking, that's how politics is. So now I got confused. Okay, what exactly is politics? So I think I want to ask you.
That's that's a very tech. If let me attempt to answer. So, politics and governance have to first. Governance is the use of elected office in providing deliverables to. Now, politics simply the vehicle to politics. Now, in that vehicle, strategy, need funding, you need a lot of things. Politics passes to get you from being irregularly to become honorable, distinguished, or his excellency, or whatever you choose to call. That is the. But most people think that
Hmm.
politics is politics has power. I'll tell you, the moment you have candidates, you're in Unilag now. The moment you put your posters out, when more girls chasing you, tell you what that. No, I like simplifying everything. So more girls were chasing. You know what
Yeah.
it is? Politics actually is the exertion of influence, which creates the
Hmm.
impression. So influence is you thinking you want to do something, but you are doing it because I want you to,
Hmm.
and you're not even clearly. That's pure politics. Politics is exerting influence. It's not power. It's exerting. So because I say, you should vote for me, a credible candidate. I've never used a shoe that's more than 12K. You say, this guy is a boy. I've never popped a bottle. Worst thing I drink is a bottle of canned whatever or an origin or what's the name of that local drink? I was in Osun State. I saw one drink or Eru Jeje or Origin, all the small things. No, I'm a politician. I'll go down and go up and display any parameters. Why are you laughing? You're surprised I know things like that. So I'll tell you that, and then you vote for me basically on the fact that you don't understand who exactly I am. Then when I get to power, you be like, he's changed. No, I didn't change. I give you
Hmm.
an exact picture so that I could exert your own decision. So at that point, and once you've voted, politics is done. I'm in office. I can do whatever I want.
Hmm.
No,
Hmm. Wow. Wow, Mr. Kunle, thank you very much for this. I don't know. I'm really happy that I had this section because it's helping me personally, and I believe for those who are going to watch this, especially for all
Uh,
of my classmates, have to watch this.
you can. Should I give you my phone so that type in, type in my call? Let me have your phone so I can credit you since you're.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Kunle. I don't know. For me, I'm so glad that we have people like you in Africa and in West Africa. Somehow, I believe when we have people like you, there's hope for those who want to stand on value, those who want to stand. There's hope that, okay, even though I'm feeling like I'm odd, somehow I know that there's someone who's so odd like me. So I don't give up in the fact that I'm still keeping the standard. And the other question I will ask before the last question is, um, how do you think young people can actually address issues like, let's say, for those who are not, those who cannot join parties, those who cannot maybe get involved in those kind of deep kind of politics and all kind of things. What can they do
Okay,
where
let
they
me
are?
help them. Let me help them. Now, I'm sure all of us are concerned with our holy books. Let me make something. The holy book of being a citizen, Constitution of the.
Mm.
For free here, I'll tell you. Anybody that says Nigeria,
So can you repeat that again?
anyone that says Nigeria's constitution is flawed, it's not read. I'll tell you
Mm.
the problem. 40% of it is not in as is, especially with the action of with Twitter and state governments kidnapping funds from
Mm.
some of these constituency projects are normally it's not in providing it's not within function. It's not does not the constitution does not empower nationals.
Mm.
So you must understand the constitution. It
Mm.
will now arm you well enough to know
Mm.
what is your left is from your right. So the constitution of Nigeria, of course, has just been reviewed about 100 since 1999. This is like the US have more than 4,000 reviews at the same time. India has like it's a little bit over that amount of time. So I'll leave a secret here. Politics is actually easier than this. And I would like you, whoever's watching, to go research this. Local governments, council, chairman, vice chairman, whatever, they have no immunity.
Mm.
You see them steal your resources, you can sue them to court for free. And if you prove that in court, they are going to jail. So they are not going to go after their term. The moment the court says they are going to jail, local governments have zero immunity.
Wow.
But you wouldn't know that if you weren't conversant with. And these are simple things that are available to you at your fingertips that you could touch, you could feel, you could actually make a move with. But because you do not know, you rather go to Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and then write and type anything you want to type. This one has good. This one has been a bad boy. Come on.
Mm.
It's not going anywhere.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kunle. I'm really grateful. And we've come to the end of this section. And the last question I want to ask you is, I think a lot of people actually always wait for this section. A lot of people get back to me and say, Miracle, I like the last part and all that. And you've held leaders, you've held sections with leaders, you've sat with people, you've got involved in different kind of politics, got in different kind of positions. What advice would you give to young people? What is that last word you want every young person to know in West Africa, especially in West Africa?
Well, I'll coin from something that I've always thought. If you've never seen yourself as a leader, you can't make.
Hmm.
If you've never thought of yourself as a governor, you never make it. When you start to see it, you start to train yourself. And when you start to train yourself, you get better and better. So the day it comes, it's now, like for instance, during this conversation, someone will think you sent me the questions way before time. Nobody knows that. I was jumping for I even told you I'm rushing back. I'm trying to make it home. Yeah, let's push this back to 7:15. I couldn't come on to 7:30. I haven't thought about any answers. You're answering me, I'm answering you back. Can you see how simple it is? That's because I've actually trained myself so much. I didn't think of anything before this. So you need to understand knowledge is key. You need to be able to see things. And knowledge is not necessarily book knowledge. There are people with PhDs that didn't know where their primaries were being held. And that's happened in Nigeria. So it's not knowledge. You need to understand. You need to know the way things work. And that is the real knowledge. You have to be adaptable to be able to get anywhere with it. So my advice is they should seek knowledge, seek understanding. Try and be a mentee to someone. Being a mentee doesn't mean that every day you be asking the person for credit. Or I have some mentees, that we have dropped off along. Their first question, what they just say, yeah, their mentor. Hey, bro, I'm looking for 100K. I get it.
Wow, thank you so
So
much for
get relevant mentees and travel. It's always a pleasure, man.
wow,
Anytime
wow,
you come.
wow.
I'm
Thank you so
sorry,
much.
I'm sorry I clipped the time because I keep to time a lot. But yesterday was hectic for me, and you
Yeah,
knew that. Very,
yeah.
very hectic for me. So, and I had to go do some things to time off. So I apologize for that. But I knew I need this.
Wow, wow, wow. For me, to be honest with you, I was expecting maybe there could be a reschedule or some. I was surprised because I felt like, wow, you had a conference yesterday and then boom, wow. Thank you so much, Mr. Kunle. I'm really, really grateful. And the last thing I want to say, I want to ask before we just round this up is, um, for so some of my classmates, my university mates will be saying this, and I want you to actually give an advice for those in the school politics. Just a few words for those in the school politics.
School politics. Okay, I never participated in school, so I'll call myself. But because I participated higher, I'm going to ask: if you're a legislator in the school parliament, and you haven't proposed one bill, you're of course going to be a legislator that is proposing nothing if you eventually get to see. It doesn't have to be the way it is. There's no law that says this is how it is. Hold yourself accountable to yourself first. It's harder holding yourself accountable to people. Trust me. When you close the door, you know the way it is now. Even when all of us will go, you know the way it is. You know the most. I'll give you an example. No offense to religion, but if you want to know the best place people are tied to, their God, when a plane takes off, slight turbulence. Trust me, everybody's very religious. They hold themselves accountable. God, I'll never drink again. God, I'll never smoke again. I'll never see my side chick again. Then the moment they land, they continue. So if a politician can decide, let's say you're within school level, and you decide to hold yourself accountable to a particular level or to a particular system, and you say, this is how I'm going to choose to live. I'm a senator within the school parliament. I am going to propose one bill every week for the rest of it. You will do something. I'll tell you, while running for office, and I don't want this to seem like I'm being a preacher. While running for office, I did not have money. I did not have anything. But do you know what I did? I proposed 49 bills while running for office. That's higher than any Nigerian legislator in history.
Wow.
That was the only thing I had, and I knew the constitution, so that was what I used.
Wow. Wow.
And that's what separated me today on the executive director of college. I'm doing a lot of things, and it's that same knowledge now that's opening doors for me, pulling a lot of things done. So school politics is not too far away from life politics. Same way you could get confused by the ladies to a coin in real life. Same way you could get confused by eyes on the ball. What exactly do you want to get? There are two kinds of people in the world. One, those that just want to live life and enjoy it. Then there are people like us that want to live after we are gone. And the only way we can do that is make good positions and planting great things and raise people that 100 years after we're gone, you talk about miracle, you talk about Kunle. And for me, that's the greatest benefit. If you buy a G class, nobody's going to remember. I remember some people then, Shagari Benz in the 80s. I was in primary school then. You say, this person used his child's blood for this Shagari Benz. Now, bring a Shagari Benz. Who's going to look at you? You know, there's this thing, Jay-Z, I listen to music. There's this thing on this Jay-Z Drake song that I really love. And he said, Jay-Z said, everybody knows the price. People know the price of everything, but nobody knows the value of it. So thank you very much. It's a pleasure being
Wow. Wow, Mr. Kunle, I don't know. I just need to thank you so much. Thank you so much,
here.
Mr. Kunle. I'm very grateful, really grateful. And personally, I think I have to call for personal coaching.
Right now we're not collecting schooling dollars. I'm a patriot of collecting dollars.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kunle. Okay, so I want
Thank
to
you
say
very
thank you
much,
to
brother.
everyone who joined too. Let's acknowledge everyone. So, Mr. I don't know. I don't know pronounce the name, but I'm saying thank you for everyone who has joined. Thank you so much, everyone who's joined, and then also Mr. Kunle. Thank you so much, sir. I'm really, really grateful. Really, really grateful. Okay, bye, sir.
Okay, take care. It's my pleasure. Have a lovely evening, everyone.
Saying. Okay, thank you guys for joining.